Restaurants and grocery stores are an essential part of modern society, providing access to a wide variety of food options and creating jobs for millions of people. Both restaurants and grocery stores serve as gateways to good food, bringing people together and provide sustenance for their bodies and souls.
And yet, being one of the most critical parts of the economy, 1 in 3 restaurants won't survive their first year. Grocery stores aren't in any better of a situation. In fact, the pandemic made the failure rates worse, and yet provided some insight into the inherent cost of the failure in these industries.
Single-store locations often have little to no margins, about 35%, and they suffer from the low volume, which makes them disqualified for volume discounts. The lack of volume gains other larger chains and businesses a competitive advantage, and these smaller businesses often end up spending a huge part of their revenue towards wrong ratings.
The suppliers, on the other hand, face another issue. The average profit margin for distributors and suppliers is 20%. However, it has a potential to rise to 45% if sold directly to restaurants and grocery stores by eliminating wholesalers. They avoid selling directly to consumers for 2 main reasons.
Reason number 1, geographic diversity. As a supplier, it can be challenging to keep up with geographic diversity of the customer, as most manufacturers do not have developed transportation lines to accommodate the distance. Reason number 2, lack of scale. Selling directly to SMB businesses would often result in a more complicated sales process and increase inventory costs while destabilizing what is otherwise a very predictable revenue model.
Aggrova solves both through a market aggregation software solution.
We start off with the supplier listing their product on our website. In doing so, they'd be required to place pricing thresholds based on the volume of the order. Next, they proceed to either choose from density or distribution aggregation.
Distance-based aggregation takes place through a local distributor or a supplier as a midpoint around which the distance from the midpoint determines the geographical group. To make this possible, we're using distribution-based clustering algorithms to determine the distance and then group businesses together. This method is optimal for perishable items such as dairy products, as the customers will need to live relatively close to the supplier.
Similarly, density-based aggregation takes place through an individual business acting as a midpoint, and any business within a certain radius determined by the supplier will group together. We will be using centroid-based clustering algorithms to aggregate these stores. In the case of multiple groups that a single store is eligible to join, the business would auto-aggregate the group with the largest order size.
We streamlined the whole process using a pricing threshold which is provided by the supplier, which follows the 2 different aggregation methods. The supplier would also have to provide a start and an end date for the sale to take place.
The process starts off with the restaurants filing in their orders. We use our geographic aggregation model and the pricing model to determine the price and the group of the order. One of the major challenges faced by SMB is that they don't have leverage over the price per unit. We at Aggrova solve this by aggregating orders, and we estimate to save about 10 to 15% based on local business experiences. Meanwhile, suppliers face issues with geographic diversity of consumers and lack scale in directly serving customers and therefore making DTC harder. Aggrova encourages businesses in close proximity to aggregate orders, which not only decreases the geographic diversity problem, but also resolves the issue of scale and simplifies the sales process.
Choco is an online marketplace between food distributors and restaurants trying to make ordering more convenient. The latest fundraising round brought in $111 million at a $1.2 billion valuation. Cisco is a publicly listed company specializing in food distributions with over 17,500 facilities and 650,000 customers, and has generated over $60 billion in sales. Pepper, similarly to Choco, aims to simplify the user experience using online ordering services. Latest fundraising, round 1 brought back $16 million.
Compared to other solutions, Aggrova is the only solution focused to provide value for SMB. We are the only solution focused on resolving order size obstacles for smaller businesses. Aggrova offers an advanced solution that provides benefits of scale to both parties.
Currently, Aggrova charges 1.75% per transaction, but this cost is projected to go down to 0.65% as the business scales.
We plan to acquire about 10% of the market by 2027 and also decrease our customer acquisition costs by relying on networking effects. We are currently working on a fully functional model and further plan to communicate with buy now, pay later services in the future to expand the features of our product by offering credit to our customers. We hope you join along on our journey to empower smaller businesses. Thank you.